अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्तास्तं पर्युपासते ये चापि अक्षरम् अव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवीतमा। अर्जुन उवाच, अर्जुन said, एवं thus satata always, yukta engaged, ye those who, bhakta devotees, tvam you, paryupasate properly worship, ye those who, cha also, api again, aksharam beyond the senses, avyaktam the unmanifested, tesam of them, ke who, yoga vitama the most perfect in knowledge of yoga. Translation. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Perfect. Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. Please repeat. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always proper engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Krishna has now explained about the personal, the impersonal and the universal, and has described all kinds of devotees and yogis. Generally, the transcendentalists can be divided into two classes. One is the impersonalist and the other is the personalist. The personalist devotee engages himself with all energy in the service of the Supreme Lord. The impersonalist who engages himself not directly in the service of Krishna, but in meditation on the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. We find in this chapter that of the different processes for realization of the absolute truth, Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, is the highest. If one at all desires to have the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he must take to devotional service. Those who worship the Supreme Lord directly by devotional service are called personalists. Those who engage themselves in meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists. Arjuna is here questioning which position is better. There are different ways to realize the absolute truth. But Krishna indicates in this chapter that Bhakti Yoga or devotional service to Him is the highest of all. It is most direct and it is the easiest means for association with the Godhead. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord explained that a living entity is not the material body. He is a spiritual spark, and the absolute truth is the spiritual whole. In the seventh chapter, he spoke of the living entity as being part and parcel of the supreme whole and recommended that he transfers his attention fully to the whole. Then again in the 8th chapter, it was said that anyone who thinks of Krishna at the time of quitting his body is at once transferred to the spiritual sky, to the abode of Krishna. And at the end of the 6th chapter, the Lord clearly said that of all yogis, one who always thinks of Krishna within himself is considered the most perfect. So, in practically every chapter, the conclusion has been that one should be attached to the personal form of Krishna, for that is the highest spiritual realization. Nevertheless, there are those who are not attached to the personal form of Krishna, they are so firmly detached that even in the preparation of commentaries to Bhagavad Gita, they want to distract other people from Krishna and transfer all devotion to the impersonal Brahmajyoti. They prefer to meditate on the impersonal form of the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of the senses and is not manifest. Last paragraph. And so, actually, there are two classes of transcendentalists. Now, Arjuna is trying to settle the question of which process is easier and which of the classes is most perfect. In other words, he is clarifying his own position because he is attached to the personal form of Krishna. He is not attached to the impersonal Brahman. He wants to know whether his position is secure. The impersonal manifestation, either in this material world or in the spiritual world of the Supreme Lord, is a problem for meditation. Actually, one cannot perfectly conceive of the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. Therefore, Arjuna wants to say, what is the use of such a waste of time? Arjuna experienced in the 11th chapter that to be attached to the personal form of Krishna is best because he could thus understand all other forms at the same time and there was no disturbance to his love for Krishna. This important question asked of Krishna by Arjuna will clarify the distinction between the impersonal and personal conception of the absolute truth. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदाधिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna Prabhus. I humbly seek all of your blessings to share some of my understanding from this verse. So here we are beginning of the chapter 12 and Arjuna is asking a question. So this chapter 12 is divided into three sections. Section 1 is text 1 to text 7 and that explains about the difference between the personal form and the impersonal form of Krishna and whether the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in personal form is better or meditation to the unmanifested and inconceivable form is better. That is what Arjuna's question and Krishna answers. And 8 to 12 explains about the progressive stages of bhakti. What is Krishna is telling how devotional service is best. Mayeva manadashta mayi buddhim nivesaya. If you cannot fix my mind, then you do this, you do that, like this is explaining. Then is from text 13 to 20 is explaining the qualities of a devotee which is very, very dear to Krishna. So this is what the three sections of chapter 12. Now in the beginning, what is the link between this question, text 1 of chapter 12 to the last chapter? The last chapter was universal form. Arjuna has seen the universal form of Krishna and he has completely seen everything. It's what he has not seen before. He has seen the different demigods. He sees Adityas, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all type of external energy, and he has seen all the vicious war and how everybody is dashing against inside the mouth of Krishna. So many things he has seen and is completely shocked to see all these things. Then at the end of the chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna that only by unalloyed devotional service you will understand me. By no other means you cannot understand. And text 55, he tells that those who render pure devotional service, they will attain me. Now, Arjuna is contemplating what he has heard before. You will see 9th chapter, Krishna explains Mahatmanastu Mahapartha Daivim Prakrutimāsita Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Gyantva Bhutadim Abhayam. That those who are Mahatmas and those who have taken shelter of my internal potency, they constantly think of me. Next verse, Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. That verse is telling, she is telling Satata Kittayanto Mam Yatantastu Drudavrata Namasanta Sama Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Telling always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, going down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So here next verse, Krishna tells that those who are, there are some other classes of personalities, they are also worshipping me. And who are those? He is telling Ekattena Pruthakatena Bahuda Vishwatamukha. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second, are diverse in many and a universal form. So, three categories of persons also worship. They are Ekattena, then Pruthaktena and Vishwatamukha. What is Ekattena? Ekattena means they understand I am the spirit soul and they meditate on that soul. That is Ekattena. They themselves think that I am part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the source and let me worship. Let me meditate on that source. So that is what Ekattena. They think that I am God or I will become God, like this. Then he is telling about Pruthakattena. Pruthakattena means there are different parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of God, like demigods, those who are discharging their service to execute different functions in this material world. And he has already heard, Krishna has already reputed that those who have material desires, they go and worship demigods. So, and those things are very temporary and it is not beneficial at all. So he understood that. And he was Vishwatamukha, the universal form. Now 11th chapter he has seen the universal form. Now he is contemplating that all these demigods, that Pruthakattena and Vishwamukha he has already seen. That all the demigods he has seen inside the universal form. Now he has seen Krishna himself in front of him. He knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because by full deliberation he has understood that. And he is a person. And I am also a person and my duty is to render devotional service to him. So now he is little clarifying that what's about those who are worshipping the unmanifested and inconceivable form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why he is asking this question. So it is very good that he has asked the question so that we are benefited. Because when somebody asks questions, three categories of people benefited. The person who is asking the question, and the person who answers, and those are hearers. And as a result, we are also very much benefited. So we are very grateful to Arjuna that he has asked this question, so that our doubts is also clear. Because we have seen in this material world also, there are so many people having so many concocted ideas, and they worship what they like. But Shastra says, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhakti Utpada Eva Kalpate. Why there is a disturbance in the society? Because they think that yes, my path is right. So whatever I think, that is right. I manifest something as God, I worship, and that is my God, and I will do that. So that's why we can see so many varieties of groups, or so many varieties of dharma people are accepting, and it is not supported by Shastra. But where Arjuna's question is very genuine, Prabhupada also explains here that Krishna has now explained about the personal, impersonal, and the universal, and has described all kinds of devotees and yogis. So Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna has already explained about the personal form, because he says in Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, he has said, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarva pravartate iti mattva bhajante mam buddhavava samanyuta. He is telling, Aham, I am standing in front of you, the son of Devaki, is a person. So nothing to be confused. And he has always carrying out from the chapter 2 itself that you have to connect with me. Second chapter, when he explained about the difference between soul and super soul, and soul and matter, spirit and matter, in 2.61 he clearly tells that Tani Sarvani Samyamya Yukta Asit Matpara. You have to engage all your senses in me, perform devotional service. Second chapter he has, third chapter he has explained 3.30. Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasa Advanta Chetasa. You have to offer all your activities. Mai Sarvani Karmani. You have to offer all the results of your works to me. Fourth chapter also he has explained, 4.31 somewhere he has explained that yes, you have to give up everything and you have to surrender to me. Fifth chapter he explained that Bhaktaram Yagyantapasam, 5.29, Bhaktaram Yagyantapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram. So everywhere he is establishing his personality, and he is telling that you have to engage in my devotional service. Sixth chapter is explained, 6.47, Yoginam api sarvesam madgatena atmanatmana sadavan bhajate umam samayuktotamam mata. He has already told that who is the best of all yogis. Seventh chapter, same thing, Maya Asakta Manapatha, beginning itself he is telling that you have to attach to me. So like this, every chapter he has been establishing the supreme position of his personality, and is advising that you have to render devotional service. So where the confusion in Arjuna, why he is asking then? In 8th chapter, in 20 and 21 verse, Krishna tells little bit impersonal things. So he tells here, 20 verse, that paras tasmatu bhavo anyo vyakto avyakta sanatana yasa sarva bhutesu nasyastu na vinasyati. Yet there is another unmanifested nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. And text 21 he says that which The Vedantists describe as unmanifested and infallible that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. Here what he is telling, Abhyakto Akshara iti Ukta. So that pops out in the mind of Arjuna. Okay, Krishna has told this thing Abhyakta. So that's why he is telling this question. The same thing he is telling. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastam paryupasate e chapi aksharam abhyaktam tesamke yoga vitama. So here Prabhupada explained there are two types of transcendentalists. One is personalist, another is impersonalist. Who are personalists? Satata yukta ye. Those who are always Satata yukta. Satata yukta means always they are thinking and worshipping Krishna. So who can worship Krishna always? Text 55, 54, 55 in 11th chapter, Prabhupada also gives the example of that, what is the characteristic of pure devotional service. He has given two verses, quotes two verses that Anya Abhilasita from Rupa Goswami, Anya Abhilasita Sunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulena Krishna Anusilanam Bhaktirotam. Those who are free from all type of material desires, Anya Abhilasita Sunyam, they don't have any desires, only one desire, I want to serve Krishna. Krishna is mine, I want to serve him. There is no other abhilas. All jnana, karma, everything they throw. There is nothing. That is called pure bhakti. Another verse also he quotes from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Anasaktasya visayan yathara upayunjita nirbandha krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam uchyate. These two verses Srila Prabhupada quotes in the 55 text, verse 55 of chapter 11. They are constantly thinking of Krishna. So those pure devotees, they can think of Krishna. They are the pure devotees. They don't have any other shelter except Krishna. That is what Saranagati. Saranagati has 6 sangas. Anukulese sankalpa. What is favorable for Krishna? They just do that. Pratikulyase varjanam. Whatever unfavorable, they don't look at it. Rakhisati iti vishwasa. They have full faith, full conviction that Krishna will protect me. Rakhisati iti vishwasa. Gotrupte varanam tata. He is the only maintainer. We may think that father is maintaining, or brother is maintaining, wife is maintaining, or children are maintaining. No. They know, he knows that the person, a pure devotee, he knows that Krishna is the only maintainer, all other are the instruments or agents. That faith he has. So he does not depend upon anybody else. Atma Nikshepa Karpanya. He is completely surrendered. And he is with total humility. So this is the symptom of a pure devotee who is Satata Yukta, who is always engaged, who is always connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is telling that that person is better who is constantly worshipping you, or the person Aksharam Abhyaktam. Aksharam means beyond the senses, invisible. Something which is invisible, and Abhyakta, not manifested. So like they both are same, source is same. Like Bhagavatam says, Vadanti tat tattva viddas tattvameja jnana vadyoyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdate. Learned transcendentalists say that absolute transcendental truth, they call it a Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. Same personality have 3 features. So here the Arjuna is asking that some people, they worship that transcendental form which is unmanifested, invisible. They say Nirakara, no Akara. Nirguna, no Guna. Actually that is correct. That Vedantist, they say Nirakara, Nirguna, all these things. Actually that is correct. Nirakara means he has no material form. And Nirguna means he has no material qualities. He is transcendental personality. So that is what Arjuna is saying, that which is better? Because I am a person, I am not able to think of which, just like people, even if they focus on a light. But one way you are telling that is Nirakara, and how will focus on light? Light is also some shape, some akar, something is there. So here that question is asked by Arjuna. That is what he is explaining. That what I should do? Because I am attached to you. I am clearly interacting with you. You are a person, I am a person. I can exchange yours with you. But how those persons who are meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of that Nirguna, Abhyakta, Nirakara, Nirguna, Abhyakta and all these things, how they can conceive you? So then Prabhupada explains here that those who worship the Supreme Lord directly by devotional service are called personalists. What do you mean a person? Person means he has a name, form, nama, rupa, guna, lila. That is called a person. He has a name, he has an address, he has some abode. So that's why Prabhupada explains that those who worship Supreme Personality of Godhead directly by devotional service are called personalists. And those who engage themselves in meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists. So they meditate impersonal Brahma Jyoti, that Brahman aspect. Arjuna is here questioning in which position is better. There are different ways to realize the absolute truth, but Krishna indicates in this chapter that Bhakti Yoga or devotional service to him is the highest of all. It is the most direct and it is the easiest means for the association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what first text 2, Krishna will declare that what is best. He tells that Maya Vesya Mano Imam Nitya Yukta Upasate Sradaya Paropetas Teme Yuktotama Mata. So those who fix their minds on my personal form are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Then he will explain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that how it is difficult for the persons to meditate, because we have some conceptions. We can identify a person with some name or form or his attributes or his pastimes, but there is nothing, and how I can think of something. So that is how they are addressing that. Because in second chapter, from text 11 to 30, Krishna explains the characteristic of the soul. The characteristic of soul, that it is inconceivable, it cannot be cut into pieces, it cannot be moistened by water, it cannot be burned by fire, and it is abhyakta, it is achintya. All these things are explained. So those who understand that I am not this body, I am say spirit soul, that means the soul is also a spirit soul, because I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So I should meditate in that form. That is what their conception. But here we are conditioned souls. We cannot think something which has no form or nothing. So better, that's why Krishna is telling that you have to engage all your senses, because that meditation is very difficult. That is not easy, it is troublesome, it is also difficult. next verses it will be explained how it is so difficult. And Prabhupada says that Prabhupada has explained that in all chapters Krishna has indicating, although he explained many things, but finally he focuses, don't divert your attention here and there. Focus here, personal form. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is it's a great compassion upon us. Krishna himself is telling that, please worship me. Because he knows, he loves us. He does not want that we should be diverted here and there. So that's why he again and again is giving emphasis on this point. Don't divert towards any other things. Don't go to Ekatvam, don't go to this different demigods, don't go to this Vishwarupa and all these things. This is best. The personal form, and with the understanding that I am his servant, eternal servant, Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, and devotional service is the only the medium. Your devotional service is the only medium by which we can access Krishna. Then Prabhupada gives warning here. Nevertheless, there are those who are not attached to the personal form of Krishna. They are so firmly detached that even in the preparation of commentaries to Bhagavad Gita, they want to distract other people from Krishna and transfer all devotion to the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Prabhupada knows there are so many types of people will be available in this material world, and their business is to distract. So Ramanujacharya in his commentary also tells here that why these impersonalists are inferior than the personalists. He tells that they are inferior because they don't accept the authority of disciplic successor. They concoct something or they heard something, just they jump into it. But as the personalist, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. You have to approach a bona fide spiritual master under the disciplic successor. Because we don't know, we are conditioned souls. So if I think something, okay, this is God, I should worship it. So this is my own way of thinking. Whatever I am thinking, I am doing that. But those who are those who are devotees, they accept a spiritual master, they go, approach them and ask all type of questions, they get the proper answer, they implement those things in their life, and they are blissfully practicing devotional service. That's what we can see here, how Srila Prabhupada strongly emphasizing these points in our society. He tells also, even if you one word you hear from Mayavadis, your life is spoiled. Mayavadira bhasya sunile hoye sarvanas. So we are actually in a protected zone, because no external vibration will enter into our heart. Why? Because we are in disciplic succession. If you are not in disciplic succession, today my mind will go to hear that katha, tomorrow somebody else will tell that you go there, here, and I will become a very confused personality. So we are very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this beautiful transcendental literature, and we are able to discuss among the devotees and protect it in this atmosphere. Even with this Bhagavad Gita discussion, even if somebody speaks something out of the context, immediately we will catch him, that from where you heard it. That is a challenge, that's what the devotees they do. If they didn't hear from where is the authority? So that, and if you see Prabhupada's book, always he quotes authorities, from where he is speaking, every line. He never speaks anything from his mind. So that's what he is training also same thing, that whatever we'll share, that should be from the Shastras. Otherwise it is a disturbance in the society. So we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, that who has protected us so that we are not diverted our attention to different things. We know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, explained in all scriptures, and there is only one service. We have to render pure devotional service to Him, and we are fully connected with Him. So this is what actually the text 1 of chapter 12. So if is there any question or comments?
Both incarnations are Advaita and Gadadhar. And what is the meaning of Advaita?
It's Advaita and Gadadhar. Okay. So they are Panchatattvas. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Advaita Acharya is Lord Vishnu himself. Okay. So he has prayed because he has seen the conditioned souls are suffering in this material world, how to deliver them. So he was praying to Lord Chaitanya that, my dear Lord, please come and save these people. But why his name is Advaita, that I don't know. But Advaita means there is no Daitya. Here we, in this material world, we see dualities. Daitya means dualities. Happiness, distress, or pain, pleasure, insult, praise, spirit, matter. So that is Daitya. Advaita means two ways to look at it, that everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of God. If in relation to Krishna we can see everything, that is Advaita. Okay. And Gadadhar Pandit is an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and sometimes we say that is expansion of Srimati Radharani. Pardon? Okay. Okay, brother. Correct. अच्छा okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any? I told that Gadadhar Pandit is an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and expansion of Srimati Radharani symbolize the pure devotion to Krishna. Radharani also. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself manifested in the mood of yes. Radha Krishna, they are only one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both Radha and Krishna. Yeah, that is what I heard it. If you have anything to share, you can. Pardon? You are asking.
Vasadi I didn't ask, but tell it.
Yeah. Sivasadi means all other devotees, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Not a personal form, including all.
All their persons.
Vasadi is associate of Lord Chaitanya.
Who? I didn't get it.
Vasadi is associate
Sribas.
Lord Chaitanya.
Sribas Thakur. Yeah. I didn't get it. Yeah, I told that. Anything you want to share, please share.
I need to, as you explained regarding this affair and the other, you just explained regarding Vasadi.
Okay.
Yes.
He is just an associate. That was I know.
Only associate.
Yeah, that is there. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes, correct. Yes, no, you are convincing.
So I can't recall the verse, but it must be during Ishupnishat says that those who worship the impersonal Brahman, they go to the dark regions of hell. Something I cannot recall clearly. But impersonal Brahman Jyoti is also Krishna's.
So they don't go to hell. That is not a strength. That is that is, one verse says that अंधेन तमसावृता तांस्ते प्रत्याभिगच्छन्ति न तो आत्महन जना. So that is telling that those who worship the not impersonal form, but those who are not, that is a Ishopanishad, Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavruta tamse pratyabhigachanti atmananya. Those who are worshipping demoniac species, Asurya namate loka. But those who are worshipping Brahma Jyoti, they will go to Brahma Jyoti, they will merge. Because that is the transcendental aspect, that is the three Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. These are the three features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who worship Brahman feature, they will go to Brahma Jyoti and merge. That's Saihya Mukti. Anything?
कि अगर सभी लोग डिवोटी बन जाए तो मतलब सभी फिजिकल थिंग से डिटैच हो जाएंगे, तो जो टीचर हैं वो भगवान पे ध्यान देंगे, टीचिंग मतलब वो फिर अपना जो प्रोफेशन है जो करते आ रहे हैं, साइंस में काम कर रहे हैं, टीचर टीचिंग कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ से जब वो डिटैच हो जाएंगे तो ये
मैनेजमेंट कैसे काम करते हैं?
संसार कैसे चलेगा? ओके.
Everybody becomes devotee.
So what will happen?
What will happen?
Yeah. So that means I can speak in English, no problem, or Hindi? Hindi. Okay, no problem. So we have to understand what is the right understanding of a devotee. Who is a devotee? A devotee is a person who is devoted to Krishna. What does it mean devoted to Krishna? That means what Krishna says we should follow. Here the same question is asked by Arjuna. Arjuna is by nature Kshatriya and his duty is to fight. And when he went to battlefield, he told, I cannot fight. When he sees Bhishmadev, Krupacharya, Dronacharya, he was completely bewildered. Then he told that I don't want to fight. Then the whole Bhagavad Gita is told to him that your duty, you are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight, you cannot escape from your duty. So you are a scientist, you have to do your business in science. If you are a student, you have to study. If you are a Grihastha, you have to do your duties nicely. The only thing is that you have to keep Krishna in the center of your life so that you will not be degraded to lower consciousness, lower spaces. So that's why he tells in 2.47, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetubur mato sangasya karmani. That we have to perform our prescribed duties. He is telling, we have to do our duties. But only the difference between the devotees and the materialists, the devotee, whatever they do for the pleasure of Krishna, they do to satisfy Krishna. But as materialists, they keep Krishna out of their life and they do whatever they want. What happens to them? They get the reaction for that. That's why we are suffering in this world. So that is only difference. That if everybody becomes devotees, it's good. The whole thing is flourished. Because scientists, they have invented this. So we are using in Krishna service. Others who are computers, or any other things they have invented. We are using Krishna service. So those things are not bad. But not using in Krishna, those who are using this television and all these things in the wrong ways, that pollutes the society, that pollutes the consciousness, that pollutes the human beings. So that is the consciousness. That's why we are telling Krishna consciousness. Whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we speak, it is to please Krishna. That's all.
Actually, my question is not related to chapter 12, which is going on.
Okay.
It is my personal question. How can we connect ourselves to Lord Krishna without any local practices like worship, kirtan, etc.? Is there any other way to follow Gita or follow Krishna's word?
Yes.
Is there any other way?
Yeah, there are different
How
ways.
can we?
Yeah, there are different ways. There are 9 ways we can connect with Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We can hear Krishna's Bhagavad Gita through some devotees. Shravanam, Kirtan in your home. We can just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That this chanting we can do. And whatever we have deity pictures. In home we are worshipping, so worship them. Then there are different ways. Suppose whatever we are cooking, that we can offer to Krishna and take Krishna Prasadam. And we can invite some devotees in our house. They can associate, we can take their association. So there are different ways we can ourselves, we can conduct a program in our home, make prasadam, distribute to others. So these are the different ways. Whatever we are doing in our life, everything has to be connected. Only Krishna has to be connected. That's all. We are reading, we should read Shastra. In addition, whatever we are doing. We are eating foods, so those foods can be offered to Krishna. We are speaking so many things, but we should tell Krishna Katha. That is the thing. Only focus has to be shifted. That's all. So in our day-to-day life, whatever you are doing, we are also doing the same thing.
We can symbolize.
Yeah. That way we have to connect ourselves with Krishna. That is the thing. See, very simple. It is not at all difficult. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.